New Sheffield Steelers signing Nate Discasmero was waiting in the lobby. Two of the older guard, Phillips and Spencer, they both play a part in this one. Waited as Ashley Tate returned to the Motorpoint Arena, a multiple champion, league and playoff. And he was to have a huge say in the way that this game went. The Sheffield Steelers, of course, hadn't won any of their 3 arena games. They killed an early Jason Hewitt cross-checking minor, but Ilpo Salmaverta was off for interference, and the Coventry Blaze at 8:23 went on the power play. 60 seconds later, Ashley Tate made his mark. A nice pass to Adam Henrik. Henrik shoots past Doyle, and the Coventry Blaze led by a 1-0 at 9:23. Again, you can see a nice feed from Ashley Tate, and Doyle is committed going one way. Henrik shoots and scores. The Blaze led by that goal. A smile on the Coventry Blaze's captain's face. This game, though, was to heat up. Phillips and Carlson would clash just behind the goal. The referee calls icing. Phillips and Carlson have a little bit of a push and shove. Big Ben Olsen comes in to bully Jonathan Phillips, but hello, the policeman, Sergeant Spencer, arrives and puts Olsen in his place. The fans loved that as well. Absolutely loved it as Olsen gets put down by Sergeant Spencer. And the Steelers policeman doing his job just about perfectly. Biggest cheer of the night at the time was for Spencer, who is certainly a crowd favourite. Did you see the Ashley Tate little tug then? Off he goes. He'd already served a tripping minor, now we got an interference minor, and the Steelers went on the power play. 45-38. Keep your eye on Jeff Legue. Normally the man for the big blast, but he's looking for a tip in front of Zacharias in the Coventry Blaze goal, but he goes straight through. Jeff Legue gets that all-important equaliser. He shoots, he scores, and at 46-42 on the power play, with Salmaverta and Gagliardi picking up assists, the Steelers had tied it at 1 apiece. You'll see again, just floats one. He's looking for a tip. He tells us on our audio boo interview on the website that he was looking for a tip, but that one just went all the way through. Check that interview out, folks, on the Steelers website. Steelers fans were happy. They were delighted. It was a little controversial moment. We'll see Ashley Tate. He'll get caught here for holding. He pulls Phillips down. Phillips runs into Zacharias. Zacharias doesn't like it. And believe it or not, folks, that was just a 2-minute slash from the Coventry Blaze goalie on Jonathan Phillips. It would put the Steelers on a 5-on-3 power play at 49-46. Maybe the referee didn't see it. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Zacharias, obviously. Oh, no, the referee did see it. Saw it perfectly well, didn't he? But he only gave a 2-minute minor for slashing. 5-on-3 power play. Legue takes that first blast. We've had Saric Legue, but is this the start of the Langley-Legue relationship? Look at this one. Boomf. Where the heck did that go? You'll have to wait for the super slow-mo. An absolute rifle from Jeff Legue. He gave the Steelers the lead at 50-53. You can't even see there where it went. We need that super slow-mo. We get it now. Zacharias hasn't got time just to move his glove just 2 inches down as Legue just hammers one past him. The Steelers led. It's that man Jeff Legue again. Stephen Gertzen, your captain's happy. He was to get happier a little bit later. The Coventry Blaze, though, are made of stern stuff, and they came hard at the Sheffield Steelers in the last couple of minutes of this game, and it was that man again, Ashley Tate, with only a minute and a half left. He beats Frank Doyle, and he sends this one into overtime. Yeah, overtime. We were all confused as well, but overtime it was in this Challenge Cup game, because 2-2 after this goal from Ashley Tate. Finds its way past Frank Doyle. An extra 5 minutes of play. Another reason to smile, Ash. So into overtime we go, and Coventry had the better of overtime in the early stages of the 5-minute section. But Stefan Meyer will find Chad Langley, and what a home debut Langley had. He was outstanding all night, and he makes a play out in front, and Stephen Gertzen jams one home. With less than a minute of overtime left, cometh the moment, cometh the man, cometh your captain. Stephen Gertzen gets the winner in OT. Just stabs it through the pads of Zacharias. And the Sheffield Steelers take those points. It looks off the skates at first, but then you can see the jam there from Stephen Gertzen. Zacharias looks behind his back, and the man who was lucky to be on the ice had to retrieve the puck out of the empty net. A 3-2 Challenge Cup win for the Sheffield Steelers. Oh, Monkey off the back. Everybody was happy, especially that man, Jeff Legue. We caught up with Legue and Doug Christiansen, but it was only right we caught up with Legue first.
We come out strong and we were all over them, and we just weren't finding the back of the net when in those key little chances that we had. But we stuck with it, and great battle with the boys, even on D and Frankie. So.
When he was coaching the Belfast Giants, he says that Jeff Legue's a clutch player, and he said it again at the start of this year. And come with the moment, it needed almost like a Legue moment, didn't it, to kind of just to get us on that board. Was there a big sense of relief when that first one went in?
Yeah, I mean, when you put in those situations, you always like to come through for the team, and Dougie relies on me to come through in those situations, and we had a couple chances before that, but then we said we were just going to simplify it and get it to the net, and I got it to the net and it went in. So it's one of those things that you just got to go basic.
The second one was, if we put a highlight reel of the top 20 Legue goals here, I would imagine that goal's pretty much similar to 15 of the others. They're the Legue trademark goal. Just talk us through that power play effort.
Yeah, he was reading a lot of our, watching me, so I talked to Langer and said, we got to move it a couple times and then shoot, and that's what we did, and it ended up working out. So it was just a little play that we put together right at the end, and it pulled off. You
talk about Chad Langley. I thought he had an outstanding debut. It must have been hard for him being out of the lineup, but he did make a difference, didn't he?
He did. He's very calm on the puck, and and he makes great plays in those little situations. So it was good to have him back in the lineup and give the boys a little bit of a rest back there.
Coventry got it back to 2-2. Langley made that play that Gertson somehow just got a touch on it. He buried it. The sense now what that does for this team going into these three important league games, because it was so vital, wasn't it, that we got that win tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting, Dougie said in the room, we're drawing a line in the sand right now, and we're starting from scratch. So, it was a good win, and now we're going to prepare ourselves for Wednesday, and it's a big game Wednesday. They're a great team, so it's all looking forward. We've already gave up our points now, so we've got to win everything now.
Congratulations, Doug. I know you've just done a lot of the press interviews, and I'm sure the first question most people have asked you is the monkey off your back here at the arena, and it was a big win on many levels, wasn't it?
Well, it was a big win. I mean, I think that one thing that gets lost in all of this is it's still Challenge Cup. It's the same stuff that we said when we lost. It's important for us to get a win. It's important for us to play better, and I think that was the biggest thing for me. I wanted to make sure that some of the lessons that we learned from last weekend and some of the things that the trends that had started last weekend were carried through this week. Great goaltending. Tonight we had timely goal scoring. We had special teams were fairly good, not great, but fairly good. But the thing that we talked about last week in the interview was discipline, and tonight we were excellent.
Talk to us about the game, go through period by period. 1-0 down, but we were still on top for most of that period, weren't we?
Yeah, I told the guys between the first and second that I thought we played well. Sometimes the score doesn't reflect how you're playing, and that that if you can stay the course and continue to grind away, that you'll be okay. The first period I thought we played fairly well. Second period I really thought, although we weren't taking pucks to the net the way that I would like us to, we weren't as determined right at the net front. We were very determined to get the puck into the zone, to get it back, and to make plays with it, and to try to unlock them. And I thought that we did that for the most part in the second period. You get to the third period and you're still down. You need a timely goal, and that's what Jeff Legue's paid for is those big goals.
I was just going to say, you told me a story when you were in Belfast that you used to watch the scores and it would be Legue that got the game tie or the game winner, and now he's doing it for you. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Jeff Legue's, I've said it before, the most clutch player in the Elite League. And when you need a big goal in a big moment, he gets it for you. And there were so many times in Belfast where I was rooting against Sheffield, and you'd sit there and see, geez, the game-tying goal, Legue, penalty shootout, goal, Legue, game-winning goal, Legue. And tonight he did that for us. He gets 2 big goals for us. And you know what? We stayed the course after that. We gave up a goal, but we kept battling and come out with 2 points.
For many years here, Legue has had paid part of his success on the power play to Sarich, the Legue-Sarich partnership. Tonight, perhaps we saw the start of the Legue-Langley partnership.
Well, I'm sure Langley's parents will be happy to hear that. You know what? Whoever's giving him the puck.
Very well tonight,
yes. No, I'm trying not to give him too much credit, but no, Langer is great tonight, and we signed him to be a difference maker. We signed him to be a player that can make that fantastic play. And you know, tonight he comes up with 2 massive assists, but not only that, but he was good defensively too, which is, you know, something for Langer that I talk to him all the time about. He's never going to run anybody over, but it's about him having a good stick, moving his feet, getting himself into the right position. He played great tonight.
He was one of 2 players playing their first game, if you like, for us tonight. Your new signing, Nate, how did you think he did?
Yeah, I thought Nate DiCasmero was outstanding.
I'm glad you said that.
yeah, that's all right. It's all right. You know, no, DiCas is great. I knew what I was getting with him, having played against him growing up and seeing him at last year's World Championships. And one of the things about him is he competes. You aren't 5'10" and undrafted and play 400-plus games in the American Hockey League if you aren't doing things right. And he's a guy who plays in his own end. He kills penalties. He led our team tonight in face-offs. And I thought he was great. I think that it will continue to come for him as he gets in better and better shape, but very, very pleased with his performance tonight.
We now go to 3 key games in a very short period of time. Will you have Robert Dowd in the lineup for those 3 games?
Yeah, I think Robert will be in for some or all of them. You know, we'll see about Cone, whether it'll be some or all. We'll revisit that on Monday. But you know what? Right now, I want this team to enjoy it. It's important that you get that feeling of the excitement of how much fun it is to win at home, to get the crowd into it, to have that sense of excitement.
And they were tonight, weren't they? The crowd were great tonight.
They're great. You know what? They buoyed the team late in the game. And you know what? The thing was, one of the things that I really like is even though we were down and we were all over in the second period, the crowd was boosting them then. And it's really easy sometimes when it's 7-1, but sometimes the team needs it, and they need the boost from the crowd, and we got it tonight, and hopefully we'll continue to get it as we have at other points in time, like last weekend when it was Sunday in the 3rd period, and we're really hard charging, the crowd was into it and behind it. So the passion of the fans, it's infectious, it's great, and I'm really excited to see what it comes out this week, because we see them again next weekend and Dundee on Wednesday.